Hi guys, it's Raven Scry here today. On a Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to check in with Spirit and answer some of your questions. Thank you all for writing your questions in the last video and the one prior. I've taken some questions from the last two videos because there was a lot that I missed in the one before. So I'm going to try and get through some more of the questions. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get through all of them, but thank you if you've sent questions through anyway. Also, if you have any feedback in regards to any questions that were answered, please feel free to reflect and share below also. And of course, new questions today. If you've got a new question for next week's video, please pop it down below. And they can range from all sorts of things. I'll take a little bit of a selection of all sorts of different questions. So pop them below. One last thing before we start, if you're enjoying these types of videos, please give a like and subscribe and share them with whoever you feel may resonate. It would mean a lot to supporting the channel and to keep everything moving and the algorithm happy. So inviting Spirit close now to connect today to answer the questions that have been selected for the highest good of everybody involved here. Now, as they connect, the first question that I'm feeling drawn to is from JK. Now, JK says, "Hey Raven, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have you channel Spirit on my behalf." You're very welcome, JK. I would love to know whether my original music project I'm a part of, Crystal Cities, can expect to make any significant business connections with any powerful music industry people before the end of the year. Okay, so as I connect to your question, I'm seeing a connection or like a meeting taking place. This meeting is with an older male energy. This man is tubbier, bit of a belly, and he's a bit balding. And it's funny because although he wouldn't think that, but Spirit's showing him as a little bit balding on his head. Now he feels connected to business, possibly management, the business side of music, and it's like he offers possibilities, and what's coming through is like possibility of supporting or touring with larger acts, and Spirit just brings that through as something to possibly think about. So there's an opportunity that may come. It may not be straight away that it comes into fruition, but it's like ideas and opportunities that are being thrown around and things to work towards, essentially. Okay, so the next question is from Frank Joseph, who asks, "What should my next move be? Stay or go?" Okay, so as I connect, I hear out. Straight away I'm hearing out. It's like I hear the word out and I hear a snap, clean cut. Now Spirit shows me that there's many elements coming into your situation, but just says leave with grace. Okay, so the next question is from Neo EV. Now Neo EV says, "Really love your videos, Raven. Thank you. And I was amazed to hear about the wound healing response. I also have a big wound on my right breast and would like to ask Spirit, what is the cause and how can I heal it?" Okay, well that's quite a big question, but we'll see what Spirit has to say. Okay, as I connect, I'm feeling its connection to a deep grief coming through this wound. It feels connected to a situation or to many situations. It feels like in other times and really in other lives. Now, I'm seeing specifically like a gunshot wound, actually, which does take me into another life. And in the way it comes through, it's like this, often in past life kind of work. It's like this energy. It's very similar, this energy, the way it comes through to me. So I feel as though there's many elements of this energy all coming through into this wound. Now, Spirit shows me that it's a reminder of something that's been with you for some time through these many lives. And you asked, how can I heal it? And I'm hearing feeling from Spirit. And they're speaking of you having a deep gift that comes through your feelings. And it's like part of your feeling has been shut off or switched off in some way, and it's connected with this deep grief. But it's like they're saying your gifts are in the feelings. So it's like you're selling yourself short, not allowing this whole part of your feeling self through. And essentially that's, we're all humans. It's not the easiest thing to do, like it's deep. But they're speaking to that, and they're reminding you that it's very important, this part of you. And by connecting with it, it will allow you more access to more of yourself and to a fuller life and to more of your gifts, things that you don't even realize you're able to do or have access to. So really understanding the grief and feeling, just allowing yourself to feel and release, because it's going to make space for you and your whole self to really live the full experience of you. And essentially through this, it feels as though your wound will sort itself out once you give the attention to it. Okay, so the next question is from Kira Ellis, who says, do you see me having any more children? What path will I be heading on for the future if this question cannot be answered? Okay, so as I connect, I'm getting quite a strong no coming in, but it's like they're also opening it up to the possibility of, or maybe. Like there's all these, it's kind of no, but then possibly. And it almost feels like it's the way somebody's thinking or you're thinking about it. It's like the decision is yes and no coming through. So it feels a little unclear. Now, Spirit also brings through quite strongly that it is your choice here. And it's like they almost don't want to give me clarity, because it's like they're giving it back to you. They're giving you back this question and your own choice here. Now, in saying all of that, I'm getting reference to small children around you, though. And it almost feels like you're a leader or a teacher in some way. Now, it could almost be like a grandchild kind of reference, but it's not like your children. They're just showing me these smaller children around you. Now, this could be something that's coming up, but it's quite prominent. But it doesn't feel directly like your children, but there just seems to be many of them around you. So really just bringing it back to your choice and getting clear, because in some way it's not feeling clear. And obviously that's why you've asked today. But they're handing you back the question and asking you to make the choice. Okay, the next question is from Tanea Bhattacharya. Forgive me, I've probably got that wrong, but who asks, I have been dealing with a lot of childhood traumas for a long time now, and I'm exhausted. I feel like I've started to make progress though. Am I doing things correctly, and am I on a path of healing? Okay, now Spirit speaks of your progress, but it's like it's melding together with a lot of collective energy. And so sometimes it's difficult to differentiate what's yours and what's the collective. It's like you're particularly sensitive to this, and in saying that, it's like you may feel things aren't changing in ways like, you do all this work, but it's like, why isn't this changing? But in fact, a lot is moving, is what they're telling me. And a lot is changing for you and in you. Now, they suggest doing something completely different with your environment, like going somewhere different, to different energy. Now, this could be a different connection in nature, but just changing it to something that you're not used to break the energy and to find some separation for yourself, which will in turn show you the changes that have been made. And you'll even notice your response has changed to certain situations, but without that breakaway, and it could just be for a short time, it's like some sort of a reset that you need. And this can also be in regards to connections that you have, people that you talk with regularly, like just change that for a time. And whatever you feel, it could be a few days, it could be a day, it could be a couple of weeks, but just change that and see how things are for you, because you'll see things will change, and you'll notice things about yourself will be different. And it will also open up space for you to see the next steps to take for your own evolution. Now, they say you are on the right path, and be gentle with yourself and how far you've come. Okay, next question is from Free Spirit. When will we move? Okay. They're giving me October and then June, 2 months. Now, whether they're in that order or not, that's just what's coming through. And they're showing me also a water location and a reference to deep sea diving. Now, I'm not sure how that connects, but I hope you can understand this and it makes it a bit more clear for you. Okay, so the next question is from Martin Emming, who says, I wasn't sure if or what to ask for a while now, but I'll ask for the community. Will Bitcoin reach 100,000 or more this year? Okay, and maybe ask Spirit if there's something he wants me to know at this point of my life. I'm on many regards sailing in the fog right now, like a ship on the ocean with no sight to the stars and not knowing where to set course to. Okay, firstly, will Bitcoin reach 100K this year? It's always difficult to predict the timeline because they're always shifting with crypto. It is a difficult one, but as I connect to the question, Spirit is pushing it down. So it feels as though that's a no to me. They're pushing it down. Now, something Spirit wants you to know, your placement in the way that you're feeling, although it may be hard, is where you're meant to be at this time. They say there is feelings of uncertainty, and it's like your feelings are connected to the larger collective change that's happening. Now, they speak about connection for you being very important, and they also give reference to a dog around you as a very strong support. Now, I'm not sure if you have a dog already or they're suggesting that you get one. They're just speaking of this connection that's really important for you at this time. Okay, moving along. Now, the next question is from J Crypto Minded, who says, when do you see silver going above $50 US? Now, I'm assuming you mean $50 US per ounce. So I'll make that assumption and we'll continue on. Now, I'm not really getting much for that. It's almost like Spirit just is giving me nothing. Now, I ask then for any info on silver, anything that wants to come through around the topic of silver. Now, I'm hearing stock exchange crash, and there's some significance there, and it feels like there may be an opportunity to buy some silver for a bit cheaper coming up in the way that this is coming through. I also hear, don't trust the big money. They don't know what's coming. Okay, I'll leave you with that, Jay, and move along to the next question from Alex Hoyton. Sorry if I've got it wrong again. So Alex asks, "Hi Raven, just wondering if Elon Musk buying Twitter is a positive event. I have heard it was a very negative platform in the past, and will this be part of the change?" Okay, Alex. Spirit is giving me a mixed bag of feelings here in relation to your question. In ways, it is positive, but it's also part of a much larger plan and play out for the collective, is what Spirit is saying. It's Spirit showing me a scene now of water, a body of water, and after a major storm, and all the murky water and stuff from below is coming up to the surface. And it's like things that were already there now just coming right up and out to the surface. So it feels like a time that we're moving through and into is a time of extremes, the extremes of the duality on the planet. And, the mess is really coming to the surface here in regards to connection to this question. But it is part of the larger picture. But Spirit stresses to take care at this time because it will be quite volatile for some. And yes, everything is coming to the surface. Many things will be exposed, is what they're bringing through. Okay, so I've got a few more questions, and the next question is from Narcissa, and the question is, will I ever be a grandmother? So as I connect, I'm being shown a young lady in connection here. It feels as though the connection is a daughter, and I feel as though Spirit shows me her having a son. So yes, I believe that you will become a grandmother. Now, in saying all of that, things can change. It's all about choice here. But they show that this possibility is quite open to come through to you. So that's nice news. Okay, moving along to the next question from Di Atkins, who asks, will I find a place to start a community in Portugal? Okay, so Spirit's showing me that there will be an adjustment period that may feel a little bit challenging in ways, a little bit slow. But given time, the right people will emerge and you will find a place to start a community in Portugal. They show me you meeting with somebody, having a drink together, a connection, a friend, and they're talking about starting a community with the right people, and it may take time, but be patient and keep your intention clear for what you wish to bring to this community. And it will all come together. It's just going to take a little longer than perhaps you expected. And I'm hearing Spirit say, build it and they will come. So even if it's you feeling like you're working alone or with one or two others and like, where's the community? Just believe and keep your energy open and keep that dream alive and they will come. Ooh, it sounds exciting. Let me know when this community happens. I'd love to connect. Okay, last question from Patrice Silverstron, who asks, is the crypto market still a good thing to be invested in for our financial future? Okay, Patrice, well, a huge question. Of course, depending on what projects, how you're investing, time periods, all of that comes into it. But I'll put your question to Spirit to see what they wish to say about it. They speak of it being challenging, this period, so maintaining caution. They say, yes, crypto is still good to be involved in, but be safe at this time. Now, they say it really depends on what you're investing in, but to wait for some clear skies for bigger entries, and of course dollar cost average if you are going to come in and out of projects, but just to maintain some caution at this time, because it will be quite clear when these clear skies they speak of are present. It's like something's going to pass. It feels as though it can be connected to the change that Spirit speaks of a lot too. So just be safe. Yes, it's a great industry to be involved in, but just take extra care at this time, and make sure you're here for the longer term, because that's where we're really going to see progress, through some of these muddy areas. Make sure you survive and don't sink. It's very important. Okay, that's the end of the questions for today. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe and share it with whoever you feel. It would mean a lot. Also, donations are always welcome. Now, if you'd like to share anything that came through for you during the reading, please do so below. And also, of course, put your fresh questions down underneath the video for next week. And also, if you still haven't had a reading, your question hasn't been selected, feel free to pop it in the video again so that I don't miss it and I eventually get to it for you. Alrighty guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Raven Scry signing off.